Thank you, Jeremy. Good evening, everybody. I'm proud of the win, proud of the way the guys played. I thought Georgia State has some good players. They're well coached. They're going to do well in their league. They didn't quit. I told our guys at halftime they've got quickness. They really chase the ball hard. They're trying, and this is a really good test for us, getting ready to go back into league play next week. Very proud of the defense again. They really, with the two deep defense out there, gave up one score, and they forced Georgia State to kick a field goal when Sam had the fumble back at the 30, 25, somewhere in there. So it was good that they stood up and kept them from scoring a touchdown. Also stopped the fourth down. Proud to see those young linebackers out there playing. In fact, we had a bunch of freshmen on the field in the fourth quarter, and they run. And then proud of Power for his interception. Got a few guys banged up tonight, so we'll have to look at that on defense. But overall, felt like they played well. Special teams was better. We stopped the fake punt, which should have led to a 7 instead of 3 points. And then we also blocked a punt, which is the first time we've done that, I think, in our 2 years and 2 games. So we are getting better in special teams. Jonathan Kim kicked them past the goal line every time. And then we got Cole Maynard into punt. Ben Kiernan did a tremendous job with his punting. So we did miss a field goal, which we can't do. But overall, thought the kicking game was good. And then offensively, we didn't run the ball well the first half. And we still have some work to do in that area. We've got to look at it, but we got more confidence in the second half. I think we scored on 5 straight drives. And glad to see both Jacoby and Drake get in there. And Sam played really, really well. He played like the Sam we all know. So glad he got back on track as well. Questions?
Thanks, Coach. We will begin with Chris Lee. Go ahead, Chris.
Hey, Coach. How impressed were you tonight with Sam's rushing ability? And do you feel like he gets enough credit as a runner, as a quarterback?
Chris, he's worked so hard to slim down and be more flexible, and he's so strong that I'm really, really proud of the way he runs. And he escapes from the pocket some. He can run the option some. We moved him some in the second half, which I thought helped. And he throws so well on the run. So, and I think you're right, Chris. He doesn't get the credit he deserves for his ability to run.
Michael Coe, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, you kept the guys in the locker room at halftime for a little longer than Georgia State did. They came out with about 3 minutes left. What was said in the locker room at halftime? Because it looked like you guys came out with a lot more energy in the second half.
Biggest thing I said was they got good players, and they're playing hard. And they're not going to lay down and quit. You're going to have to make them. So let's get better. Let's get better as a football team. And go back and start. First drive of the second half was important. And they didn't listen to me because we went 3 and out right quick. But I did think that they woke up. I want us to run the ball better. And I want defense to continue to play hard and play good. And so the second half is really the third quarter is who we want to be.
Andrew Jones.
Coach, you guys in the second half scored the first 6 possessions of the last one. Obviously, with Drake out there, you didn't. And you got 3 and outs in the third quarter as well. What is the value in the team playing better as the game goes on, especially coming out of the locker room at halftime and putting it together on both sides of the ball, fixing some stuff that maybe wasn't going as well earlier during the course of the game?
Andrew, I think it's threefold. I think number one, we're getting more depth. So it may hurt us on some plays, but we're fresher in the third quarter than we used to be. And that's important. Secondly, our coaching staff's got continuity and they've been together a long time. So they're doing a better job of adjusting at halftime to things because they're on the same page and can talk better. And we're playing so many young guys. It's something I was concerned about in preseason, that you've got the older guys and really talented young guys, but there's a gap in there of lack of experience. And every snap that those young guys get, they're going to start playing better, and we won't notice that they're out there as much.
And very quickly as a follow-up, and the value of the young guys seeing that happen, because you did it last week, even in Blacksburg, the team was better on both sides in the second half, and you were better on both sides in the second half tonight. So the value and the young guys seeing that right before them.
Yeah, it's really important. You just got to think some of those guys, they might have been in the opening game with on a few kick teams, but I look out there and you've got a complete secondary and linebackers that are true freshmen, and then you got KJ Binkley and you've got Keyshawn Silver up front. So you got a lot of young guys playing that are going to be super players and bode great for our future.
Thank you.
Thank you.
CL Brown, go ahead.
And Mac, how important was it? You mentioned that the offense was predicated on hitting those deep passes. How important was it that Antoine Green specifically was able to have a night like this with his 3 big catches to kind of get his confidence going forward?
Boy, CL, thank you for mentioning that. I should have. He played really, really, really well. The catch to get the drive started, the second drive, I think, of the second half, where he actually turned all the way back to the inside and made the catch over his shoulder, was one of the better catches I've ever seen. And he made some other great catches. He got hit. So tonight should give him confidence to move forward and be one of those receivers that we're talking about. Josh Downs played well again. And then I thought the review was very close, let's put it that way, on Joffrey's catch. But that's good for him that he made that catch. And then I hated that he didn't catch it on the other end because he was wide open for a touchdown. And Antoine Green and Joffrey just need confidence. They're very talented. They're probably like Diami and Daz were 2 years ago. But the faster that they can come, the better that we will be as a team.
And I also want to ask, where do you feel like the balance is between Sam getting runs like he had tonight and not wanting your quarterback to take too many hits?
He's got to just do a better job of sliding. He doesn't like to, but he's got to. And he's got to take care of himself because he's so valuable to us. And we had Colt McCoy and Vince Young at Texas that were runners and ran a lot. And they'd scramble, they make plays. And that's when you get to be a dynamic offense, when your quarterback when he can scramble or run outside, moving the quarterback, and he is a threat to run, then somebody in that secondary has got to come up to tackle him, and then they can easily throw it over their head, just like Jacoby did at the end of the ball game to Nesbitt. And Nesbitt did a tremendous job of making a play after he caught the ball. But we've got to be smart with him. When I put him back in, I wanted the offense to go one more series when there was 11 minutes left, and we got the interception by Power. And nothing more than just the more confidence and the more positive pictures they can visualize, the better they're going to be, because things pick up here next week.
Okay, Luciano, go ahead.
Hey, Coach and Zoners, Latin American Network here. Just like last game, the running game has been suboptimal. And if we take out Howell's rushing yards, the average yards per carry were 3.3. How are you planning on solving this issue? And what would you say the team needs to be more effective in that area?
Well, I'll probably be staying up all night trying to fix it. And we haven't fixed it for 2 weeks. We ran for some good yards last week. It was more than early tonight. But we do have to count Sam's yards, because when you run the offense like we run it, those count. Because we always used to say, everybody used to say, your quarterback's your leading rusher. That's a bad thing. I thought, well, not if they stop the running backs. Nobody's on the quarterback. So their quarterback made some really good runs tonight too. So we'll continue to run Sam and try to figure out why, again, it looked like we had some guys miss up front. And it sure wasn't for crowd noise, because our people were quiet when we had the ball. So that's I think right now it's the running the ball and making sure that we're solid in pass protection as we get back into league play are the two most critical things that we've got to analyze and try to figure out why they haven't been as good as last year, and move forward with it. I did think that Ty Chandler made some good runs tonight, and it was good to see him get more confidence as the game went on as well.
Adam Smith, go ahead.
Hey, Mac, just wanted to get your range of emotions on Sam's 62-yard touchdown run. He bounced it outside, and I think all of us kind of were like, "Oh, he might actually go here." At one point there. Just what were you thinking as you saw that thing unfold?
Adam, there were about 3 times where I said, "Get down, get down, get." Hey, great job, Sam. You're going to score, man. And he was so proud. We told him we needed to get EMS over there to get him some oxygen because he'd never run that far. But that's fun for him and gives him confidence. And it was fun for the team. And it will make people be aware that he can beat them running because he's fast. He outran everybody. And I was surprised, but he kept cutting back toward their boundary. And every time he would cut, there'd be fewer people there. So I was really, really proud of him. And that was a fun play for him and a really good play for our offense.
Just to get a follow-up in here real quick, just after last week and the frustration in Blacksburg and some of the offensive struggles, just, the ability to feel good about something tonight and to have some positive reinforcement, just how meaningful do you think that'll be for you guys here to get the first win and to feel good about yourselves?
Adam, I thought it was critical. And we knew that Georgia State was a senior team. I thought we opened up on the road with a hard conference game and a very difficult place to play. And now we come back and we've got a group of 5 team that's been to 3 bowls in the last 4 years. And they've got experience, and they weren't happy with their first game. And we knew they would come in here and play hard. So I really think it's good for us that we've had 2 very difficult games. And this one got out of hand late, but it was still a game at halftime, and we had to work and we had to adjust and do some things. It wasn't just one of those that it's a laugher and you just walk out there and don't have to compete. So I really feel like the first 2 games have pressed us into making some changes, knowing more about who we are, and should help us for next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Coach. We appreciate your time tonight. Thank you.
Thank you all very much.
How's it going?
Hey, Ray. We will begin with Chris Lee. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, how do you feel about the team's ability to put last week's loss behind you and move forward with an impressive win here tonight?
I think we did a great job. I think this team does a good job at taking it week by week. And I think we put that loss behind us and played good football on both sides.
Andrew Jones.
Hey, Ray, Coach was just talking about some of the adjustments that were made on both sides of the ball. And for the second straight week, you guys were better in the second half than the first half. Could you kind of talk to me about the importance of making those adjustments and the young guys seeing that when it's applied, you guys can improve during the course of the game and play better after the adjustments are made?
Yeah, I think that's a key part for football. I mean, you play the first half, you get keys on what they're doing, get an idea for what they're doing in different formations. If they're doing FIB to the boundary, things like that, whatever they're doing, we get a good key on, and then we go in the locker room, talk about it, talk about things we need to do better, certain plays we could put in. And I think we do a good job of kind of explaining what we need to do and how we need to execute it to really do a good job on the defensive side of the football.
If I could ask a quick follow-up, what was the message about the 17-play drive? What was something that was fixed from that drive that you guys applied? So I think you had 3 3-and-outs in the third quarter, so they didn't have a sustained drive again the rest of the game until the very, very end.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't really specifically talk about the 17-play drive. We just we talked about the things we need to do better and go out there and execute it. That was really what we focused on.
Thank you.
Okay, Greg Barnes, go ahead.
Hey, Ray, I think you played maybe 40 snaps last week against Virginia Tech and probably played less than that tonight. Can you tell a difference in your energy level late in the games? And how important is it to have so many guys that can rotate in on the defensive line?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel a lot better coming into the fourth quarter in these games, these last 2 games. And I think it's huge. I talked about it to you guys last week about just getting more bodies in there, getting different looks to offensive linemen, and then different guys have different packages, and different guys bring different skill sets. So I think that's a really big thing that we can do on the defensive front this year and create some advantages for us.
How important was it for the team to have a confidence builder like this game tonight?
Oh, I think it's huge. I think we take the positives from it and we take the negatives. We look at the film, break it down. What do we need to do better? And then start preparing for Virginia.
All right, last one for Ray will come from Adam Smith.
Hey, Ray. Just wondering the feeling of running out here with a pretty full stadium. The fireworks are going off, the smoke's there. Just what was it like being back here for the home opener and it being some sort of return to a normal feeling, I guess?
It was a great time. I love playing at Keenan, and I think we have a really big home field advantage. I think the fans are great tonight, and I think it's going to be great through the season. It was awesome being out there. They were had great energy, super excited. So it was great being out there.
All right, Ray. Thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Appreciate you, Ray. Myles, you ready to go? Mark, next up we'll have Myles Murphy.
Hey, Myles, thanks for a couple of minutes tonight. We will begin with C.L. Brown.
Oh, it's just out of curiosity. Did Lawrence Taylor address the team before or after the game?
No, he just talked to individual players. Like we seen him in the weight room. He just gave us advice, tell us like have a good game.
Okay. Well, I wanted to ask you about what was it like getting that first sack and just kind of the defensive effort tonight, especially when they took over after Sam's fumble and you guys were able to hold them a field goal despite them getting a start in the red zone.
I just feel like we did amazing. Like the whole defense as a whole, like what we did tonight, I feel like we just getting better as the season go on.
Andrew Jones.
Hey, Myles, one of the themes tonight is adjustments. So what one or two adjustments did you guys make to lead to the third quarter in which you guys had 3 and outs and looked like the defense was on spot a little bit more in the second half than the first half?
We just had to stop the run and we had to play with more effort. And we did that. They couldn't do nothing on us.
Thank you.
Austin Bean.
Hey, Myles, Austin Bean with the Daily Tar Heel. Your class in 2019, really started to kind of bring in, a lot of young, talented players on the defensive side of the ball. So I was just kind of wondering, how it feels to, to be out there with those guys and to start to see some of those, young talented players, get a lot of meaningful snaps.
It just feels good to be out there where everybody, Tamon, Hop, all the older guys, Gimmel. It's a blessing to be out there for real.
Thank you.
All right, Myles, that's all we got for you tonight. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Mark, next up, we got Antoine Green.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Hey, Antoine. We will go right back over to C.L. Brown.
Antoine, if you could kind of just take us through the catches you had tonight. I was curious, especially on that 57-yard touchdown run. It didn't seem like there was a whole lot of separation between you and the defensive back. Just kind of what did you see and how were you able to make that play?
Oftentimes throughout football, you'll have contested catches and you'll separate a lot more, but all that matters is that I made the catch.
And what do you feel like this game can do for not only yourself, but the offense going forward? It seemed like that first week you guys didn't hit a lot of passes, a lot of deep passes, 20 yards or more. And tonight, there are plenty of them. What do you feel like that'll do just going forward?
I think it's something we can build off of because based off of last week, we didn't really have too many deep shots at all. And I just feel like it's something we can build off of as an offense. And I feel like it helps out everything up front as well because then DBs play off and they worry about the pass more, and running backs get more of an opportunity as well.
Andrew Jones.
Hey, Antoine, I'm going to go back to that 57-yard touchdown reception that you had. It looked to me like you were kind of a little bit of contact there for a while. Both you guys kind of for about 10 or 12 yards before you caught the ball. How physical was it before you caught the ball? And what did you do that gave you that little bit of separation where you were able to catch it and then glide into the end zone?
There was a little physicality in there. It was just a little arm fighting. But what I did was I just stayed on top of him and I tried to hold my line, and Sam just dropped it over the top of me to where only I could get to it.
We've talked to you a couple of times in the last year about confidence and stuff like that. I would imagine with tonight's performance, your confidence is about as high as it's been. Is that so? And how much does a catch like that really boost your confidence to an extraordinarily high level?
Yeah, it definitely boosts my confidence. I feel like it's something I was always able to do. And it's something to grow off of course. And then throughout the week, next week, we'll just build off of it and try to stay consistent.
Well, thank you.
Luciano, go ahead.
Hey, Antoine, after last week's game, the whole receiving core was heavily criticized, and you finished the game with 2 catches for 20 yards. Today, you had a fantastic game with 3 for 117 and a touchdown. What changed from last game to this one, and how much of this difference would you say is due to the big difference in opponents?
What changed? I'd say, honestly, the effort. We always had effort there. We had effort last game. And what changed this game is I feel like we came together as a whole and then just worked on it throughout the week, and everything connected well.
Okay, 2 more quick ones here. Jeremiah Holloway.
Yeah, so you just spoke to, how some of those changes were made, but I guess when the receiving core is productive like it was today, just across the board, what does that do for your offense, and how do you think that's something that you can carry into conference play for these next several games?
It definitely helps the offense build momentum, and as like the receiver core itself, we feed off of each other and we feed off of each other's energy. And anytime somebody else made a catch, like when Emory scored, we all celebrated as one. And when Josh scored, we all celebrated as one. So I feel like we feed off of each other.
Adam Smith.
Antoine, what was your vantage point on Sam's 62-yard touchdown run, and what was your take on the wheels he showed off? Like, what did you think about that thing?
I already knew Sam had it in him. I seen Justin Olsen. He got a real good block on it too, which helped Sam out, and you might see another one from Sam.
All right, Antoine, thanks for a couple minutes tonight.
All right, thank you.
All right, gang, we'll finish off the evening with Sam Howell.
Hey, Sam.
What's going on?
All right, C.L. Brown, go ahead.
Sam, how good did it feel to get those long passes, just kind of setting the tone with Antoine on those first 2 drives with the 31-yarder and 57-yarder?
Yeah, it felt great. I think we made a lot of improvements from last week to this week. There's still a lot of stuff we can clean up. But, yeah, we all knew – Antoine's been doing that since he's got here. It was only a matter of time before he really put it out there for everyone to see. And he had a really good game tonight, and we need him to be that type of player that he was tonight, and he will be. We knew it was only a matter of time for him to start making those plays, and it just felt really good to see him make those plays out there because he's put all the work in. He worked so hard, so it was awesome to see.
And can you take us through that 62-yard touchdown run? At what point did you think in your mind, I got a chance to score on this?
Honestly, man, never. I was kind of running when I was running, I was thinking dang, I was thinking someone hasn't caught me from behind yet. But no, it was awesome, man. I know a lot of people made some really good blocks for me. But yeah, it was just awesome. I'm just thankful for everyone that contributed on the play.
Andrew Jones.
Sam, you guys offensively a little bit kind of off and on there in the first half, but you scored on the first 6 possessions of the second half and kind of looked like the offense a lot of people thought they were going to see this year. What is the value in the team figuring out some things that maybe weren't working, making some adjustments, and then erupting the way that you did to kind of back up the adjustments that were made?
Yeah, I thought it was a good challenge for it, because we started off fast and then we kind of got slowed down, faced some adversity there. It got a little closer than we would like it to. And, I'm proud of the way we bounced back. We kind of came together in the locker room and just settled down and we were able to go out there in the second half and play Carolina football like we know how to play it. So there's still so much we can clean up. I thought, I missed a couple of throws that I'd never missed. So I got to clean that up. And I think we need to do a much better job in the run game. We need to get the run game going a little bit more.
Not sure if you know this, but you were the second guy in Carolina history to run for 100 and throw for 300 in the same game. The other guy was Marquise Williams, whom you know. He did it at Notre Dame back in 2014. Just your thoughts in having that kind of a night and something that hadn't really happened around here much before?
If I'm in any category with Marquise Williams, man, I'm just blessed to be in the presence of Marquise. Man, Marquise is a great player. He's my favorite Tar Heel ever. So shout out to Queese, but I felt good. I kind of felt like myself out there today, and I had a lot of help around me. My teammates had a really good game. Coach Longo called a great game, so it just felt good to kind of be out there and just feel like myself again. So we just got to keep this going.
Thank you,
Michael Coe.
Hey, Sam. So obviously you had a really great game on the ground, as other people have said before. Do you consider yourself a dual threat quarterback?
That's a good question. Yeah, I definitely think I have a lot of value in the running game. We have so many talented backs here that I don't think it's probably best to hand the ball off than to have me run it. But I definitely think that I am a threat on the run game. I try to show that as much as I can. I probably don't do a great job at times, but yeah, I definitely think I'm a threat in the running game.
Thank you.
Luciano.
Hey, Sam, how important was it for you to have such a fantastic game after last week's loss? And did that game motivate you to be better throughout the rest of the season?
That's a really good question. It was really important to see, just not only for me, but for my whole team, especially on the offensive side of the ball, to see how we bounce back. I think you can either get really down after that week one loss, or you can, kind of check yourself and be hard on yourself and kind of get a reality check and go back to work. And that's what we did. And we were able to put out a good performance on the field tonight. So we just got to keep this momentum going.
Jeremiah Holloway.
Yes, Sam. So with the increased, crowd attendance and student section attendance in comparison to last year, do you think that had any impact on, I guess, the offense's ability to create momentum and just the game all around?
Yeah, no, definitely. Our fans are awesome. The environment out there was awesome. We definitely missed that environment last year. It's just a blessing. We're just so blessed by God just to be able to do the things we love. With so much going on in the world, we were able to play in a packed Keenan Stadium and play football. We're playing the greatest game on earth. So it's just a blessing to be where we are. And it's definitely awesome to be out there in Keenan Stadium. I thought that our fans were awesome tonight, and we're going to need them to be awesome next week when Virginia comes here. They're a really good football team. So, we're excited about where we are moving forward.
Okay, time for two more. Adam Smith, go ahead.
Hey, Sam, on your long one, the 62-yarder, when you scored, it looked like Jordan Tucker grabbed you pretty hard. I think Coach Longo was fist pumping over on the sidelines. Like, of all the touchdown passes you've thrown here, do you think you got congratulated maybe more on this run than any of the others? Like, how would you rate it on the people being pumped up for you scale?
Yeah, it's definitely number one. I haven't seen anybody that excited. I think I run a lot in practice, and people just kind of knew it was only a matter of time before I kind of broke one in the game, and finally I had the opportunity to do so. But no, it was awesome. Just the support I have from my coaches and teammates. It's just really fun to be out there with a group of guys where we all love each other. So it's just super fun. I'm just super blessed to be on this team with these guys.
Were you tired when you finished it?
Yeah, I was real tired, man. I needed some oxygen over on the sideline. But no, it was a lot of fun.
All right, we'll close up with Dina King.
Hey, Sam, speaking on Antoine Green's performance tonight.
Yeah, Antoine he was unbelievable tonight. Like I said earlier, it was only a matter of time. We knew what Antoine's capable of. And I think he's a great player. It's just a matter of him going out there and proving it on a week-to-week basis. And, he kind of changed his mentality coming into this season. And he just wasn't going to let anyone cover him. And when the ball is in the air, he's gonna come down with it. So it's just super fun to see a guy that works so hard, has success on the field, because he definitely earned the success. So I'm super happy for him.
Great. Sam, thanks for a few minutes tonight.
Thanks, guys.